Welcome to Happy Hour, brought to you by Best Damn Bookkeeping. So at ROC, you guys said you do the life and the health. Is that the entirety of the vision for the business? Are there other avenues that you expect to grow into over time, or things that you've dabbled with here?
Yeah, we've probably dabbled with a couple of things in the past, but we've kind of evolved into this space. And for this at this point, this is kind of where I see us in terms of, like, when I say life insurance, like, that's probably a pretty vanilla explanation for what we do. And the bigger explanation is we show folks how to leverage life insurance so that they can keep as much money as they want off the radar of the IRS, using life insurance as a tool, and then show them how to collateralize policies, use it to grow their businesses, use it to make investments, but ultimately use it for retirement income to where you don't have to file a tax return in retirement. So that may be something for you. Like, I don't know, maybe you got to plug your ears on some of that stuff, but it's a pretty powerful tool. But so we're in that space, and then of course the healthcare space, just because it's something that's needed in our country. Like, the
Big time.
Yeah, one of the top reasons or top concerns that you see when you look at surveys, people talk about the healthcare expense is a major financial concern for them. So if we've got an opportunity to help folks in that space, then that's what we want to do.
The super interesting thing to me, and just in all of the insurance spaces, but health especially, is just like, over the last decade, the inflation in the cost of health feels like 10x the speed of inflation in anything else. It's just like, can it possibly get more expensive? And the next year it gets so much more expensive. You're just like, no effing way. Like, this is consuming so much of my income. What is there? Do you have a beat on, like, what's driving that? Is it doctors? Is it hospitals? Is it the system? Is it the government? What's going on here?
I think the answer to that is yes, but maybe starting on, it starts on the government side. What's the quote? Always be afraid whenever the government says, I'm here to help. And so, when you look at what they did in the Affordable Care Act, part of that, sounded great. They're like, hey, we're going to limit insurance companies to where their profit can't be any greater than 20% of the premiums that they take in a given year. Well, if you're an insurance company, then how do you continue to make more money year over year? How do you create shareholder value? Well, if your only mechanism is to take in more premium, that means our premiums continually have to go up for them to be able to increase their margins. So then incentivizes doctors, hospitals to continue to increase their billing, because the premiums are out there, so they might as well go ahead and submit it and get.
There's no ceiling on the dollars. It's just a ceiling on the percentage. So as long as we make the dollars of cost bigger, then the percentage in turn can stay at 20, but the dollars keep going up.
Exactly. Yep.
Interesting.
So
never thought of it that way.
And that's also, when you mentioned earlier about the difference between health insurance and health sharing, one is that the vast majority, if not all, of our large insurance carriers are for-profit businesses, right? So, they're out there, they've got heavy executive salaries, they've got expectations that they're going to be returning profits to shareholders, paying dividends, doing all the things that corporations need to do. On the flip side of that, the health sharing world traditionally operates as a nonprofit, so they're operating as 503Cs. And so they're in a position to where their main focus or their primary focus is just about paying bills. There are no shareholders, there are no, profit motives other than, of course, yes, they do have an executive team. They have to pay some salaries and whatnot. But at the end of the day, like, they take care of that. And then everything else underneath that is their only objective is to make sure people's bills are paid. So, we don't see the same bloat in the health sharing world that we do in the insurance space.
Hey, home service heroes. Thank you guys so much for tuning into our home service happy hour content today. I sure hope you learned a little something, and I sure as heck hope that it was entertaining. If you did find it fun and entertaining, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more cool, fun, entertaining business content. And speaking of which, stay tuned. There's a little more here and a little more right here. Check it out.